Well, thank goodness today has been much quieter, but that could change overnight tonight. And I say could only because these models have not been doing a great job of these severe complexes of storms. What we've seen over the last couple of days, Monday and even last night's, the timing tends to be off. The structure of the storms tend to be a little bit more difficult to forecast. And as far as the ones that we're expecting for tomorrow morning, there really isn't anything to track. We'll be watching this area of instability continuing to move up toward the northeast along coastal Texas. But as of right now, there isn't anything there. Even looking at visible satellite to see if there's any kind of blossoming of thunderstorms offshore that would indicate the development of thunderstorms, and we're not seeing that either. So with that in mind, the models don't always do a great job. Now, this model has rain already from along the Texas coast well into Louisiana, and that's just not the case. So it tends to start off a little bit wetter, which this model tends to be a little bit more aggressive. So I think rather dry through the latter part of the evening and night. A few pop-up showers, thunderstorms possible, but I don't think we're going to have anything really substantial until well after midnight. Now, the models have been trending to kind of develop these more banding features where we would get the training of rain. Exactly where those set up is very much an unknown, but those would be the areas that we could see some of the highest rainfall totals and possibly the higher risk of flooding, especially on the North Shore where the ground is saturated. That's why they have a higher risk of flooding. The good news, though, is that this is not an all-day event. Beginning during those early morning hours, then after daybreak, by about 9, 10 o'clock, it does look like a lot of that will be winding down. And notice starting to see some clearing of the skies and more sunshine by the afternoon and evening. Here's another computer model. Again, rather dry for the next couple of hours. And then we start to see kind of those banding features setting up. So that does look like maybe more of the concern overnight tonight. Certainly some gusty winds, but the training of rain where we might see these individual bands of some of the heaviest rainfall totals, and then on either side of that band, not nearly as much. The severe risk will remain on the lower side at a level 2, only because the storms have not yet developed, and that's still a possibility. And as far as the flooding risk goes, greater on the North Shore and continuing into Mississippi, because these are the areas with the highest saturation from the Monday rain and yesterday's rain. At the moment, we've had kind of almost a low cloud deck, foggy, humid, but warm. 85 degrees despite the mostly cloudy skies and a dew point of almost 80. So even with an 85-degree temperature, it feels more like 98. It has just kind of been a miserable day today. Only had that 0.08 of an inch from early this morning, as after midnight, a lot of the storms were already starting to wrap up over the metro area. Hitting 88 degrees this afternoon, which is a little bit of a surprise just considering the clouds. Winds kind of all over the place, but most favoring a southerly direction, which is going to help to fuel those storms and ample moisture in place. Here's the setup. We've got this big upper level kind of elongated trough, and we are underneath this southwesterly flow. This is embedded within it where we were going to get this disturbance, the instability in the atmosphere, which just as of yet has not formed. Will it form offshore and move over us, or it will be one of these areas that kind of sets up over us, and that's where the thunderstorms start to kind of blossom? Models are not really locked in on either one of those scenarios, with maybe some scattered thunderstorms offshore that kind of pass through us during the night tonight, and then more setting up during those early morning hours. As I said, most of the model guidance is at least in agreement this won't be until more of a maybe 2, 3 a.m. start right through the daybreak hours, and then wrapping up during the before noon hour to where the rest of our day on Saturday will be much drier. As far as rainfall totals go, kind of leave that out of the forecast only because I think it's going to be more of those banding and training type events where those areas could see several inches of rainfall through the early morning hours of our Saturday. Rest of the day Saturday, we dry out and clear out. Sunday, dry but hot as high temperatures are into the upper 80s and more low 90s continuing through most, if not all,